Hi Gemini, welcome to your weekly Tarotscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant.reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. It's over. The retrograde season, it comes to an end now. You know, the retrograde season, the eclipse season, it's all done. We made it. Take a collective sigh, breathe it in, and you know, just sit with it and be okay for a minute. Aside from all of that, if you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel. If you are already a continued subby, thank you so much for all of your continued support. And if you would like to book a personal tarot reading with me, you can do so on the email address below. I look forward to hearing from you. So before we start, I would like to bless both of my decks with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise. They help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So let's have a look at your destiny for the week. Your destiny card is the overriding theme or trend that is likely to shape up. And this card kind of gives you where the week is going to steer you and what's likely to come up, you know, in the biggest or overriding sense. And what you have is the Emperor. So this is going to be a week where you are put in a position of authority, but more importantly, this is going to be a week where the words that I'm hearing are you're going to start to redefine what your rules are, what your boundaries are. You know, it's interesting as well because this card kind of feeds into the Hierophant. And so when I see the Emperor card, it's ruled by Aries. So this is very much about what you're deciding to commit yourself to in terms of in terms of official things. You know, this is kind of you asking yourself, right, what is it that I want to get serious about now, and how do I start to define what my boundaries are? You've gone through this whole process, Gemini, of kind of, you know, stripping things back and, you know, and then planting your feet and standing still to really start to listen to yourself. And now that you've got a better sense of self, now that you've got a better sense of where you're going, it's time to start defining what your boundaries are, defining what your personal rules are. This is what I will allow in my life. This is what I won't allow in my life. So it looks like this week you're setting boundaries. You're saying to people, right, this is what I want. This is how I'm going forward. You know, and if you can interact or play by the rules that I'm setting, or work within the boundaries that I'm laying and the foundations for myself, then you can be a part of what it is that I'm going to build or what it is that I'm going to create going forward. That's a really interesting place to be in because it actually puts you in a place of, like the Emperor, a place of power. The words that I'm hearing though are heavy are the head that wears the crown. You know, sometimes when we're put in a position of authority by surprise, or even when we start to define what our own boundaries are and spell that out for people, remember, other people's point of reference about or around you is what their point of reference is about or around you. So when you're redefining that, it's likely that some people are either going to not necessarily take offense, but it's difficult for them to change if they're already set. Not everybody is as movable or as changeable as you, Gemini. You know, you guys flip from one place to another and you do it with ease and with grace because that's part of who you are and what your, you know, what your sign represents. If you find people being rigid or not able to respond to this new aspect of you that's emerging, it might be an idea for you to utilize your communication skills, who better than a Gemini, to really outline the changes that you're making and, more importantly, why. You know, this isn't about explaining yourself, it's about promoting understanding and harmony within your interpersonal connections. So your direction, how this shapes up, what the context may be, the Three of Swords. Okay, so, you know, going back to this and to back it up, there may well be people, things or situations that you have to let go this week. In order to have this new self defined, there is going to have to be some kind of payoff, you know, and very often if people can't adapt to who we are in our emergence, who we're becoming, then, you know, you're going to have to ask yourself the really difficult question of, okay, do I stay with this person? Do I, you know, and it's not necessarily just a single person. Do I stay with this point of reference that other people understand, or do I, you know, commit to myself and decide to really remove something from my life or someone because they're unable to allow me the change that I need to become who I want to be? You know, that's what it's about. Ultimately, life is about forward progression. So, you know, owning yourself and clarifying what your boundaries are or are becoming is really, really important. I wish you an abundance of love, light, peace, prosperity, and abundance itself. Have an amazing week. I'll see you very soon for more videos. Also, if you haven't already, don't forget to check out your September Tarotscope.